Good morning. Hello. Hi, Andrew. How are you doing today? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yesterday we finished a recording. We finished the query variables, which means according to my next thing on the list, it's custom HTTP status codes. Custom success HTTP status codes, and then we'll be doing custom. I wonder if this should just be custom status codes, whether or not it's success or not. That makes more sense. I think I'm going to change this. You learned BQN, a modern API on the weekend. I don't think I'm familiar with BQN. What is that? Does that stand for something, or is that just the name of the technology? Or is that a mistype and it's debun? Oh, APL, not API. Okay, my font is not helping. BQN, finally an APL for your flying saucer? Is this what you were learning? Xanax, hello. Also, Zilby is here, but my camera is down on its face. Hold on, let me fix that. All right, let's see if this looks good. Go, yeah, that's Zilva's checking out the camera. Demoroy, hello. Xanax, hello. Stacking, hello. Why do you have a spaceship and why is it running BQN? That's a good question. I don't know that either. But this language looks not fun. Or maybe fun in a different way than I'm used to. So let's see. It's looking for a modern, powerful language centered on Ken Everson's array programming paradigm. Wait, is that just programming with arrays and that's it? Nothing else? Or am I thinking of something else? What kind of name is BQN? It's 3 letters that happen to match the capitals in big questions notation. You can pronounce it bacon, but are advised to avoid this unless there's puns. Okay, so this language requires puns. That probably tells us everything we need to know about this language. If anything, your spaceship is running Rust. I mean, that's probably the safest spaceship. But who doesn't want their spaceship running code that looks like this in order to create this? Well, it certainly is an interesting looking language. I won't be learning it though. Bacon is self-hosted. Wait, isn't it a language? Languages aren't self-hosted. Languages are just languages, right? Or is it more? Hoisted or hoisted? Yes. Bacon tutorials explain how to approach and use the language as a newcomer, or they try. Please get in touch if you find that they skip ahead. Yeah, I'm the type of person who skips ahead. It's interesting. Hoist is a valid term. It's a language that's programmed with itself. Wait, is that true? I always used hoisting as a feature in a language. Um, I mean, this is seriously documented. So it's unless it just went this deep and then ends. But this is interesting. Oh, I get it. Hoisting as in like it was it's eventually hoisting to compile itself. But there's also like function hoisting and like variable hoisting and other things, which is so it's fun. Multiple same word for multiple things. So I'm glad we're continuing the English language tradition of making things as confusing as possible for newcomers. Okay, well, this is certainly interesting, but it's not going to be what we're focusing on today. So, but let us know how it goes. Let us know how you like it after you play around with it for a while. We're going to be working with custom status codes, which I don't think I have anything with that here. Yeah. Did I break all of my markdown yesterday? I want to say that I did. And oh wait, no, I undid it. So everything should be working again, right? Yeah. Okay. This is working again. You found a cool C++ conference talk, and author explained some C++ algorithms using Bacon, so you decided to learn it. Oh, is that what it's for? Is for showing off and sort of like playing with algorithms? I know that there's some languages out there that are really good for sort of like showing off very key parts of computer science. So that could be interesting. Oh, you. Thank you for the offer and your band. Oh, and it'll be you lay down. Okay. Let's move the camera down. I need like an automatic camera thing, but that's too expensive. All right. Custom status codes in Axum. So we'll do our objectives. I mean, it's just APL, but 60 years younger. I mean, true. I guess like I just don't have the well, I think it's more of I want to work on things that like for more application and business side of stuff these days. So I sort of move away from more domain specific languages like this. Unless it's like the domain that I'm like doing some kind of business in. Then I suppose it's more important. All right, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to, I guess, like describe what status codes are. So, describe what HTTP status codes are. We need to know what are the different status codes mean. So. I guess like maybe the meaning behind the different status codes. Of course, Rust has bindings for it. Oh, okay. So then, all right. Well, now you can just program that inside of Rust. Okay, so describe what status codes are, describe the meaning behind different status codes. Now, I had written down here custom status codes, but we haven't done any like other than. And I had named this, so I had changed this. So like it was custom success, custom error. Did we do one that has, I don't remember anymore. I don't think we did any status codes at all. So I don't have like a list here. So we have like normal status codes and then also custom status codes. So this one should be able to handle both, I suppose. Or I need to break it off into different ones. All right, so describe what HTTP status codes are, describe the meaning behind different status codes, respond with respond to an API request or respond to a request with a status code respond to a request with both status code and data. Probably both. Anything that follows the C API, you can pretty much interface with it using FFI. That is true. Yeah, if it's, I think it was said it was based upon C, so that makes it pretty, probably not free, but cheap to set those up. All right, so we'll begin with what are HTTP status codes? It's actually a standard, isn't it? Let's see. So we have the Mozilla MDN one. Yeah, isn't this defined by W3? No, it's now defined by ietf. All right, RFC 99110 or 9110. When was this? June 2022. Okay, so brand new. Andrew redeemed Pet the Cat. I will absolutely pet Sylvie. Sylvie, oh, I can hear a little bit of a purr too. All right, I'll let him. I'll let him go to sleep. But thank you for redeeming that, so that Sylvie can get a little bit of pets. All right. Well, this is fairly new. I don't think I've read this one. Okay, so this is basically the ietf taking over status codes. Is that right? Did they change anything? All right, so they have very like a specific call outs to like 308. Oh yeah, I remember a big difference between HTTP 1 and 2 is that the word that follows the status code is not required in 2, and in fact most of the time you can assume that's not here. Reading the good old HTTP RFC, which contradicts itself multiple times. This is the good new RFC. This is published in 2022. I haven't seen this one before. Or maybe we have and I didn't notice it, but I want to the big thing I want to look out of here is to see whether or not they still say if it's okay to use your own custom status numbers. They haven't changed the protocol, so it still contradicts on the status codes. Cool. Lovely. So is this just them taking over the document and making it theirs? Okay, so they're talking about like reverse proxies and tunnels and other fun stuff and transparent proxies. Caches, like defining what that means. I mean, okay, cool. Where are we in it? So we're in 4. Oh man, this scrolls. I didn't realize it scrolled. Oh, it just scrolls so much. Okay, so we have methods. Oh, this is more than just status codes. This is like the entire HTTP object. So, okay, I want to find the status codes themselves. Twisted Seed, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, status codes. All valid status codes are within a range of 100 to 599. Okay, so that's what we knew before. Yeah, so it doesn't look like they changed anything, but I didn't memorize the previous HTTP status code document. Okay, if for example, if a client receives an unrecognized status code of 471, it can see from the first digit there was something wrong with the request and treat the response as if it had received a 400 bad request status code. The response message will usually contain a representation that explains the status. Yeah, usually. Not always. Okay, you can't go outside of valid. But if you do, treat it as if it's a 500. Okay, so basically, it's still allowed. It's still, within the spec to send custom status codes. And then they have like a list of what this means. And the different status codes here and what they mean. This is when you completed the task on a piece of paper right when the time was up, but suddenly discovered the task on the backside. Oh, I hate that in tests, where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then it's like, okay, yeah, there was more. All right. Let's see. If I go to... Yeah, that takes me here. So we are going to link here. Okay. Whenever we make a request to an API, we must give back a status code. This by default axum will do this for us. Man, okay, typing and spelling today. Actually, I feel like, oh, I lowered my chair. That's the reason. Well, okay, that's what I can claim is the reason. I lowered my chair and my typing hands were in the wrong position. Okay, now it's better. All right. Whenever we make a request to an API, we must give back a status code. By default, Axum will do this for us, sending either a 200 when I guess like 500 if the code crashes or otherwise panics. 400 if Serde if Serde transformation deserialization fails. 200 in all other cases. 200 if the handler I guess like successfully returns. We can use custom codes, for example 418 if we want. Ooh, is 418 in here? So, oh yeah, 418 is unused. That's too bad. I wish that it's 2022 that they pushed this in. They should have just enshrined this. All right, 418. It was an April 1st RFC that lampooned the various ways HTTP was abused. One such abuse was the definition of an application-specific 418 status code. I thought it was lampooning that we were going to eventually, or we were joking about like putting IP stuff in like devices that nobody thought would ever need devices. Which of course, led, I guess they didn't lead directly, but like eventually we're now at a point where we are doing that, which is the most funny because we never thought that we would. Which has been deployed as a joke often enough for the code to be unusable for any future use. Therefore, the 418 status code is reserved in the IANA HTTP status code registry. This indicates that the status code cannot be assigned to other applications currently. If future circumstances require its use, it can be reassigned to another use. Interesting. So you are literally not allowed to use 418 in a legal way unless, no, even if it's a teapot, we need a new RFC to supersede this one, just for this. We need a fork. I don't know if they do forks for this. I think it's just a new RFC that basically says the previous RFC is no longer valid, and this is the new RFC. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But that is a shame. They did not enshrine. In fact, they didn't just enshrine it. They literally said that you're not allowed to use it. Good luck with that. You have a better chance at getting the C++ community to accept a new RFC. I know. Like we could probably get like all the content providers, all the content creators to like get every audience to like send in comments and everything else, and that may or may not act like that still doesn't have a good chance of actually doing anything. All right. 200 if the handler successfully returns. Also have the ability to send specific status codes, both the official ones like 201 created and like 299, which is unspecified. I just want to keep pointing out they still refuse to fix ref array. Is that the famous typo? Where is that? Is it like referee space? No. Is it referee dot? Wait, where is it? Okay, you forgot exactly how they misspelled it. Yeah, that's gonna make it harder to find. I mean, did they use like an I? There's 151 matches. Um, this is new. I don't think I've noticed match diacritics. What does that do? Distinguish between accented letters and their base letters. Oh, okay. So searching for like resume and resume. Fran, hello. Good morning. How are you doing today? Also, Twisted Seed subscribed with a Prime subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Twisted Seed. It didn't tell me how long you've been subscribing for it. You've been subscribed for a while. I'm surprised about that. Oh, you love how MDN calls it out? Okay. I want to see that. MDN. Oh, wait. I literally opened up the MDN status code page. Do they actually call it like spelling? No, there's no like spell. Where is it called out? Oh, it's a header. It's a header. Okay. So it's in the headers. I love that you have it linked. So it's in the headers section. So it's probably like header missing something. Oh, you did link it. Okay, I missed it. The refer HTTP request header contains the absolute, okay, blah, blah, blah. No, the header name refer is actually a misspelling of the word referer. Haha. Okay. Let's see. They could have owned up to it, but chance is they didn't. Refer. Hey, they own up to it. The refer header field allows the user agent to specify URI reference for the resource for which the target URI was obtained. The referer, though the field name is misspelled. So they do acknowledge it now, kind of. But it's now forced to be a misspelling for the rest of time. It's never gonna be fixed because it's like core to like networking. Oh, fun. All right. We also have the ability to send specific status codes, both the official ones like 201 created and 299, which is unspecified. The document linked above has the official list of the status codes. Please note that while you can respond with a status code of 600 to 699, I guess no, it's 999. It is not guaranteed. Guaranteed. Oh God. Guaranteed. That middle E, I don't, is it that an AN? Guaranteed? Guaranteed? Garant? This is what happens when you write with a editor that doesn't have a spell check. You know, that's actually wondering. I wonder if I could run a spell check as part of this as a checker in Markdown. Oh, Andrew, you're linking the I'm a teapot. Yes. Curiously not registered by Iana. But, well, it's not curiously anymore because it's literally called out in the most recent one as saying, not unusable. It is reserved in Iana, but it is not reserved for I'm a teapot. It's basically just denied, which it's forbidden. It sucks. The people that are dealing with RFCs both have good senses of humor and also just don't have any sense of humor at all at the same exact time. It's really quite impressive. Like, they can have so many good April 1st RFCs, enshrine them into reality, and then refuse to acknowledge that any of them were actually good, and then just like play along with it when it becomes, you know, the norm to use. Please, okay, so please note that while you can respond with a status code of 600 to 699, it is not guaranteed to work. Therefore, it's best to stay in the 200 to 599 range. Let's see. Somewhere we should probably put in here, okay. This follows with the basic, this follows with the defined ranges of semantic tech. One's a company and one's the actual word I want to use. And I get them confused a lot, which I suppose Semantic is super happy with. Let's see. Define range of semantic status codes where each 100 group has a specific meaning, with each number having a sub meaning, or having, okay, so a generic and specific. So specific meaning, generic meaning, with each number having a specific meaning. So have I seen anybody actually use 1 through, or is it 1 through 99, or is it 0 through 99? I don't remember anymore. Oh, it's just literally informational. I don't even think I'm gonna put in the ones. I think those are confusing. So we're gonna stay with 2. So 2 is success. So 2xx. So 200 through 299 is success. So 200 through 299 is success. 300 through 399 is redirects. 400 through 499 is client error. 500 through 599 is server. Okay. Okay, so the following, so by default, axum will do this for us, sending a default success or failure status code for us. And I think I'll just use that. So I'll just do that one. Interesting thing is what status code is non-zero U16? Wait, is that a thing? Non-zero U16? Is that defined? Oh, it's in docs.rs. Okay. In Rust. Okay. I was going to say, I don't think that's defined in there. Possible error value when converting a status code from a U16 or a stir. This error indicates that the supplied input was not a valid number, was less than 100, or is greater than 999. Okay, yeah. So this... Will this panic? This will probably panic, right? Yeah, so it's a comment for an error. So basically what I think is it's going to return a 500 as an actual status code. So it's not going to like give us some weird like, you know, 0 status code. It's going to give us a 500 error status code if we get this. But the error message will be saying, hey, this is, you know, not a number. Come on. Okay. This follows the defined range. Okay, so then, let's give back a status code. By default, Axum will do this for us, setting a default success or failure status code for us. So I can just do that. This follows, then the RFC, linked above, defines the ranges of A2P specs, the ranges of semantic HTTP status codes, where each 100 group has a generic meaning, with each number having a specific meaning. So we have those. I used to always tell students, it was like, okay, 200, everything's good. 300, it's somewhere else. Go look somewhere else. 400, it's like, you done messed up. 500, I done messed up. We also have the ability to send specific status codes, both the official ones like 201 created and 299, which is unspecified. The document linked above has the, so let's just say like maybe we'll just say you can read about the official status codes in the RFC because like this actually this does a pretty good job. Okay. We've had this you know what? Let's go take a look at 404. We've had this conversation multiple times. Now that we have this, let's take a look at it. The 404 not found status code indicates that the origin server did not find a current representation for the target resource or is not willing to disclose that one exists. A 404 status code does not indicate whether or not this lack of representation is temporary or permanent. The 410 gone status code is preferred over 404 if the origin server knows, presumably through some configurable means, that the condition is likely to be permanent. So basically, this entire is not willing to disclose that one exists, and also it's all about like a target resource. Yeah, okay. That's true stacking. Maybe I should send them to MDN. MDN probably has a better... I should probably send them to MDN. I really like... in my mind, like they only read that section and then they just ignore everything else. But it's true. They'll probably like there'll be somebody who's like, I am meant to read this entire document, and then that will not go well. Whenever we make a request an API, we must give back a status code. So that's what we're doing here. So the docs linked above defines a range of semantic HTTP status codes where each 100 group has a specific meaning. So from what I understand, 1 to 100 is not valid. It's like only 2, right? Or like, is that true? Oh, informational. So yeah, I guess we'll add this in. 100 through 199. Informational. We also have the ability to send specific status codes, both the official ones like 201 created. So I think I can actually. Let's like link to that one specific. No, not 201. That 201. There you go. 201 created and 299, which is unspecified. You can read about the official status codes. So I don't really. We've already like linked about this, so we'll do that. Nope. Okay, that's what I wanted to delete too. Please note that while you can respond with the status code of 600 to 699, it is not guaranteed to work. Therefore, it's best to stay in the 200 to 599 range. And it's not guaranteed to work based on the receiving thing you do too. So like if you use something like axum, it probably will work, but if you're using some other HTTP library and like JavaScript or, Rust or Python or whatever, it's not defined. Like as in the creator of that library could choose to like just do whatever the heck they want and may or may not implement it. Libby, you want to lay down? Or did you get too warm? Yeah, browsers still support 418. Like everybody still supports 418. But the RFC almost appears to be attempting to fight against that, which is, not gonna happen. Like nobody is going to take away 418 from the world. It's just too good. Okay, so please note. So this was what are HTTP status codes. Okay, so we got that. Please note that we can respond with the status code. It's not guaranteed to work, therefore it's best to stay. Okay, so that's what a status code is. Describing the meaning behind the different status codes. That kind of also goes with the same thing here. So respond to a request with a status code. Let's see. Responding to the request with a defined, with a standard status code. I kind of want to create a hello world. Wait, no, I have a hello world. We had one already. Okay, I want to see if I can do this. If we can use like the temp thing. So if I do cargo temp, and then I give it, there was like a, okay, create a temporary clone of a Git repository. So I want -G. And then we have one. We had like an axum API template, which doesn't have much. It's basically just like source and hello world, and that's it. So let's use this one. If I hand it, I'm curious. If I just hand it the URL, does that work? It's probably the actual. Oh, can I not clone this? Where's the little... Oh, okay. Because it's a template. Interesting. Okay. What is... let's go take a look at one of the other ones. I'll look at my code of conduct. It is... Like that. You like the feature to give a link to a specific HTML page or part of an HTML page? Yeah, tags are great. It's surprising that, well, I mean not surprising. Tags are amazing, and they need to be used more often. And I feel like they're used in interesting ways that are not necessarily the way they were meant to be used. Okay, so if I do this, okay, that pulls in the project. Okay, so then I should be able to... Okay, cache, cargo temp, go into you. This is not common tags, this is custom tags. Oh, you're looking at the oh, because it's a hash. The hash is you're looking at fragments. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, fragments are things too. So yeah, there's anchors and then there's fragments, which are interesting. Okay, so let's run you. And you should give me a good old hello world after this, right? Oh, but I completely forgot. I have to set the... I need to like just remember to add in the environment variable to like, you know, I don't know, my .zshrc or something. And I keep on forgetting. This is an export. We'll do that and then run you. Okay, so then you Helix. So if we go to our library, okay, so everything's happy here. And and everything. So basically, it's where we normally start, but much faster now. If you select something on page and click copy link to highlight, you're getting it, but you can't find spec for it, not counting Google support page. On MDN? Well, that seems interesting that you can't find it. It's like if you select something on a page and click copy link to highlight. Wait, is that a special thing? It's like if I just want to come to, I don't know, like everything here is like a link. I want that. I don't see like a special copy link to highlight. Sylvia, okay? You made a weird noise. Oh, it works in Chrome-based browsers. Ah, okay. So it's not all browsers. It's just Chrome-based browsers. Interesting. So if I copy that link you gave me, does it know what to do with this? No, it does not know what to do with this. Okay, so that's a Chromium-based thing. And I wonder if it's all Chrome-based things or if it's only Chrome. We have a Chrome-based thing here. Wait, I don't have a Chrome-based thing on this computer. Do I? I have Arc. Oh, I've never loaded up on this browser. Okay, so it's playing music. Oh, come on. I don't want to create an account. Can you just let me browse the internet? Do I have to create an account just to use Arc? Okay, fine. Never mind. Goodbye. Do I have Chrome? I do have Google Chrome, but I wanted something that's not Chrome. I know, music, disgusting. It is surprising that they play music on your first time loading it, and it's just like there. All right, so if you paste this in, that didn't do it for me either. It got rid of the fragments. I don't see it. I don't see that. Is that, should I keep my own link? Yeah, so here, let's go to the request succeeded. Copy link to highlight. Yeah, this one has that. And so then if I must not have copied pasted it from yours correctly. But yeah, that works now. Can I like do something with that? I doubt it. Oh yeah, look at that. It gets weirded out. But that might work. So if I then take this over to Firefox. Yeah. Not surprised. They don't know what to do with this. They keep the fragment though. They just don't. It just passes that along to the server because it's like, hey, that's a thing, right? And then I have Chrome. Do I have Brave? I don't have Brave. Yeah, interesting. So I don't know. It's weird. All right, but let's go back to this. Responding to a request with a standard status code. All right, so in their documentation, MDN let's see, where is it? This one. Oh, they have like a unique page for every status code. So that not successful responses. I don't want to get rid of this. I just want that. Okay, so in their documentation, MDN defines standard success codes. For example, a 201 should probably do this in a new paragraph. So, for example, a 201 status code means that a resource was created. This can be something being added to a database or a file being created. Having the 201 isn't necessary, but does convey meaning without also having to send a message explaining what happened. Try Google search for 200 status code MDN and click the first link. Is Google fine, or can I do that with? Well, I guess we'll try with DuckDuckGo first. So, 200 status code MDN. So this takes me to just HP status. It's like that. Right? But then if I go to Google for this, this is also, yeah, so I see that they're highlighting that. But when I click on this, the link down in the bottom is not doing anything interesting with that. That being said, let's try that with Chrome. Yeah, I don't know if you can see down at the bottom, we can see that they're adding the fragment in there. So if I click on that, they literally highlighted all of this, which is maybe a little bit more than I would have expected, but yeah, they're doing some interesting stuff. I don't like this though. This felt like it was way too much. Okay. So, axum. So axum uh, has a is it an enum or a struct? Let's go find out. You think Twitch was escaping the JavaScript code, which is causing the issue? Oh, interesting. So let's see. Oh, it's a re-export. So they re-export HTTP. So Axum re-exports the HTTP module. Module which has defined which has a is it an enum or is it a something else? So we have headers, URIs. Oh my, of course. Oh wait, no, modules status. They also re-export. Wait, isn't that their own? There you go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh, which are just consts. Okay, so they which has const defined. They also export the HTTP module, which has defined consts for each defined status code. So I don't necessarily think that it's JavaScript itself. I think what it is that I think it's a fragment. Um, the fragment is stacking what you're saying. It's what you want highlighted, and I think that there's some custom JavaScript in a browser running on your page in Chrome that is looking for the uh, the fragment and then doing something with that. And then if I want to actually see. Interesting. Okay, so it's fragment colon tilde colon text equals and then it's what you're looking for. So if I were to just do this here, they have a fragment in here. I want a fragment colon text colon equals fetched and is. I was really hoping. Okay, so maybe this has to come before that. Oh, it didn't like that at all. Even if you disable JavaScript on a page, it still works. Okay, so it's it's custom code that you can't disable that they're running. Now it is by the browser, so it's a feature of the browser itself. And then you found it. Well, those are text fragments. Yeah, so like that's anything. This should be anything after the hash. Interesting. Okay, so they talk about it without an anchor. Okay. The syntax is, however, a little bit different. Okay. Interesting. So they actually do have this defined. The key parts are colon, tilde, colon, otherwise known as the fragment directive. The sequence of characters tells the browser that what comes next is one or more user agent instructions, which are stripped from the URL during loading so that author scripts cannot directly interact with them. Oh, they're stripped, so you literally cannot see it in JavaScript. User agent instructions are also called directives. So this is literally me. We can tell the browser to do something custom in the URL. Text directive. This provides a text fragment to the browser defining what the text is to be linked to. Text start. Okay, the start. Text end. Okay. Prefix. Suffix. Supporting browsers will scroll to and highlight the first text fragment in the link document that matches the specified directive. Note that it is possible to specify multiple text fragments to highlight in the same URL by separating them with ampersand characters. They need to be percent encoded. Matches are case insensitive. For security reasons, the feature requires links to be opened in a no opener context. You need to add no opener to your A elements and add no opener to your window open calls when using this feature. Okay, so you can't just start doing this without adding this into your A tags if you want somebody to use it. They'll not be used inside of an iframe. Chromium-based browsers support a document policy header value that they can send, so user agents will not process text fragments. Interesting. But that's on the site itself. So like if I want Chrome on like my LMS to not allow that, I could set the server to send this back. Otherwise, it just works. Okay, then I have a bunch of examples. Where's the support? The fragment directive object, which is accessed via the document that fragment. Whoa, so there's more stuff we can do with it? There's more directives than highlight? And there's a CSS selector, pseudo selector for the highlight, so you can change the highlight color and all that stuff. That sounds interesting. Currently supported by everything other than Firefox. Even Safari has support for it. Interesting. The fragment directive, which really doesn't do anything right now, so not really surprising that we're seeing Safari not support it there. But that does mean that you might not be able to tell if it works on Safari or not. That's fun. Oh, and you can't see it select. Okay, so you can't style it on anything other than a Chromium based browser. Well, that's fun. I'm kind of surprised. We have edges here, but we don't have like other Chromium based browsers are not on this list. I guess that's what shows MDN really cares about. Or they're not tracking, they're just assuming that if it's Chromium, it just works. But okay. Interesting. That is fair. That is fascinating. Yeah, there are too many other browsers to monitor, and they're all also Chromium. But from what I understand, it is pretty possible for Chrome to change those things. Like if you're building a browser, you can just sort of like update and remove features and add features, and it gets interesting. But yeah, this is, I mean, so it's pretty cool. But if you know your target audience uses Firefox, this won't work. But it doesn't stop anything, right? Because if I went to it with the fragment in place, it just works as expected. What I think is super interesting is that they're reserving to be able to use directives. Like this thing is now reserved. It's like essentially a keyword. We can start doing programming in the URL sometime in the future. Like if they ever enable like logic or something, imagine that we can start getting injection attacks and like other like crazy logic where it's like, okay, well, we have to debug your JavaScript, your CSS, and your URL because your URL might have crazy logic that breaks things. That'll be fun. Then you could finally say you're a URL developer. This is also many of the features that Google has used to enforce an RFC. They're the only ones that show up to a meeting and then we're ruling this as a feature. You all need to use this. Oh yeah, they've done that a few times, haven't they? Wait, we could do that now? Wait. Is that a thing in Chrome? Can I like inject? So is that in the URL? Google has used its power as many times to vote an RFC without anyone else agreeing, but if they enforce it, then you have to use it. That sucks. So we have quote text. Oh, so it's not quote text, it's quote like that. But then it doesn't like this anymore. So that's cool. Let's try it. Google doesn't seem to do that to its own site. I should probably, okay. let's go back to this. We have it highlighted. So if I hash, what was it again? It was colons. So colon, tilde, colon, colon, tilde, colon, text equals, right? Yeah, text equals like the resource. Oh, it doesn't do anything. I was really hoping that would do something. No quotes? Oh, how did I make... Oh, that didn't do anything either. I wanted like that one. The resource, okay. Text equals that. We have text start. Oh, this is not optional. A text string specifying the start of the linked text. This provides a text fragment to the browser to find what the text is to be linked to in the linked document. Okay, so text start. So is it... How do you know it? They have the examples. Okay, so text equals 4. Scrolls through and highlights the first instance of the text 4 in the document. Yeah, they phoned this one in. Shashenki, also hello. How are you doing today? Yeah, so I don't know how to get this to work. So I'm going to this. We have fragment, colon, tilde, colon, text equals the resource. Okay, so if I like go and like link to this one. Okay, so it founds the 4 here. So that's the 4 right here. Oh, interesting. Asking -4 is not showing up. If I remove... That doesn't show up. Okay, then everything shows up like that. How do I do... Okay, so we have text, text start, text end. But how do they do the difference? Okay, so text equals prefix. Oh, is it commas? This might be comma separated. So prefix, text start, text end. Interesting. So it's just all in here. Yeah, so it's comma separated. So we could do like prefix would be something like I want that domain down here. So domain is prefix. Or maybe I want like was it %20 for space? So space and then comma domain and then go to text end, which would be permission. And then dot as the last name. It didn't like that. Is %20 not right? Oh, %20 was right. Maybe the dot. Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. If I want domain, that gets that. Interesting that it doesn't get this one too. Oh, I have to do like text start. So I have to do text start equals domain, comma, text end equals permission. No? Is it just the actual text equals and then the text? Okay, that's just the text. It's not actually text start. So I just did text equals domain, comma, permission. There's no space there. Chat, hello. How are you doing today? I use the Arch? Nice. Yeah, this is very... They need to reside wholly inside the same block level element. Oh, okay. It's selecting this here, but I really want to... Okay, so I need to start with like something like this or something like that. It's almost like I want to do %20 in something like that. So it starts here, and then I want to go to permission. That's it. Interesting. It also got domain. And then suffix would be dot, whatever. I don't know what dot is percent wise, so I'll just skip that. Oh, Shanky, sorry about that. I do have interesting that the example.com. I wonder if this is like used by other things. So sorry about that. Yeah, I have links turned off for normal things. So yeah, this one's a tough one to share with, but here's your here's what you shared. So it was is example.com just this all the time? I should probably I could whitelist that. Need to play Bad Apple using text fragments. Yeah, it would be interesting to see like can I do an injection with this? Like can I somehow put like script alert hello. I doubt it. Yeah, okay. So I would probably need to encode that in some way. to try to convince it to work, but I doubt it will easily. But there might be a way to do it. There might be a way to do that. You could also use this to really easily go over the like 10,000 character limit of URLs and possibly cause issues. I know that there's some attacks that use that as an example. So it could be interesting. And I wonder if this would like potentially allow attacks in other browsers that aren't supposed to implement it, and they're just like trying to ignore it, but not really. If there is a way, this is just a security problem, so gets is not allowed. I mean, the thing is, we don't know how it's implemented, right? So it's quite possible that there's something, and it might be Chrome only, that is doing a little bit more than what it's supposed to do. Not sure, no longer sure if cat or folded carpet. That sounds exactly like a cat. Okay, you got it, Shank it. Also, sorry about the URL, but this is perfect. So I can copy that. We can throw this in here. Yeah, so we go with this. So this starts with the this is the prelude, whatever it's called. It's the prefix. Okay, so we start with prefix. Oh, we need to refresh. It's a bit buggy. Huh. Wait, now it's not working. Did I do this correctly? I have fragment colon tilde colon text equals. Okay, so prefix is this dash. But now it's not showing it. That's a hard refresh too. Do I have to put something after this? Like, I don't know, this? Or a space? Interesting. I don't know, or it says it's case insensitive, so this shouldn't work. That shouldn't really matter. Oh, there it goes. Okay, wait, the case is sensitive? Whenever I hit refresh, it breaks it. Whenever I hit enter, okay, if I hit enter with this one with lowercase t, it doesn't work. With uppercase T, it does work. Until I hit refresh. It's like buggy. It is a bit buggy. I have to like make a change. I don't get it. I don't get like what's causing it to start working, and then the refresh just totally breaks it. Which is then hilarious because this is Google's RFC. It's Google's feature, and it's broken. Okay, so if I remove that the entire time, we just go domain to example. Interesting. Okay. So that's just not happy in the least. Do I need to type in the URL for it to work? Why is that still? This refreshing thing might be okay. The this dash makes it so it ignores the first sentence, or it's supposed to, because it doesn't start with the this. Right. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. The refreshing thing might be a quirk of how the anchor is implemented, because usually pound is used to navigate within the page, so it avoids a page reload. Right. Which like totally makes sense, but I don't know. I can't help but feel that there's something buggy about this. Oh, and this goes to Iana. I can probably whitelist example. Hold on. Let me whitelist example. Okay. Full links to example.com are now allowed. You would think though, even with like the quirks of anchor tags and all that stuff, the browser that's implemented this should implement it properly. Like should actually figure that out. And it feels like it's very like inconsistent with figuring out like when it's going to start and why it's working, which I don't really get. Like I haven't seen the pattern yet. I guess if I completely delete this and like rewrite this, see even that doesn't work. And if I hit refresh and then like that again, it doesn't work. If I retype all of this and we just do domain, it's like different and that causes it to work. I don't know. That is so weird. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. Without a Command Shift R, I did it with a Command Shift R and it also caused issues. Because if I just do Command R, it causes an issue, and then I hit here and like go again, it doesn't work. Command Shift R, same problem. If I delete you and we do, how about something else like this? Then that works. So it's almost as if they're caching something. Which is not all that fun, but it's a thing they decided to do. All right, let's get back to what we were working on, which is this article. So Axum re-exports the HTTP docs. Okay, so the HTTP docs module, which has defined constants, consts for each defined status code. For example, the 201 created status code can be found at, I guess like at, and then we'll just do the entire URL. And I'm not going to bother with fragments in here. Okay, so for example, the 201 created status code can be found at there. To return a status code from a route handler, we define the return. I guess like we set the function, the route handler return value type to be a status code. Okay, so we have this. I want to pull in we want a new router. I guess I'll just create something to the right of this. Let's where are we? We'll go into source routes. Let's touch status codes. Okay, so we want to mod that. Okay, so let's do created. And then we're going to return a status code. Import that from axum. Yes, thank you. And then you're going to be a status code created. I forgot the FN. Would have made things nicer. Okay, so we got that, and then status codes created. We'll do a route to status. Let's do created. Okay, so we got that. You're all happy. Server's still running. So if I open up Insomnia, I should be able to do a post to localhost created, and we get a 201 created back. Okay. All right. To return a status code from a route handler, we set the route handler return type to be a status code. Okay, great. if we want, okay, so this is responding to request with the standard status code. And then return to request with status code and data. Okay, so then the next one would be responding with a status code and data. If we want to change the default status code to something else, like created, like 201 created along with data, for example, an object from a database, we can use a tuple type. In axum, the first element of the response tuple must be the status code. Now, I heard this in the Crest of Rust about axum. I don't know if it's actually documented anywhere else, but that the reason for this is so that way you can't accidentally set the status code either multiple times or like just sort of be unaware of it being set later on, especially with a variable. So the first one must be the status code, and that's it. Like no other status codes anywhere else. And then data can come after that. So in axum, the first element of this response tuple must be the status code. Data can be the second element. Okay, so we'll come back to here. Let's now add in a seems like pub struct created data. So this will be something like message string Okay, so we get serialized there. Let's then let our response data, it's going to be equal to created data. Message is going to be a I was created equal to owned you. We're going to change you to map surround tuple type, and then you are going to be a JSON extractor with the created data. Okay, so we'll have you, JSON response data, close you. What are you upset about? Expected an operands. Oh, yeah. Missed that one. There you go. And then you just fix that for me automatically. Okay, so perfect. All right, so here we go. In axum, the first element of the response tuple must be the status code. Data can be the second element. And so therefore we have this data being responded as a JSON format. Like that. And then finally we can have custom HTTP status codes. If we don't want to use one of the standard defined status codes, like 201, created, then we can use, just make one up. As long as it can be turned into a number between 1 and 999, axum will allow it. So let's create another function here. So we'll have a pub async function. So custom. Let's do custom like success. And then we'll just do this as status code. Okay, we're returning that, and then I want to return a 299. Will that work? Expected status code found integer. Oh, but it wouldn't be a status code, would it? Can I actually do this? Oh, what's the... Oh, I have to do like an impl into response, don't I? I have to do like impl into response. And then you won't work. But if I tuple you, you don't work either. Okay, so what am I doing wrong? Into response is not satisfied. There's tons of things here. There is... Now, if I do something like... Well, I can't even see what's going on. What's happening? Nope. Okay. I don't think I'm doing this right. What did I do wrong? The trait bound integer axum response into response parts does not satisfy the following other types implement trait. So if I do like a tuple, not like a stat, I guess like it can't be a status code, or can it? I do status code and string. Oh, that works. What are you upset about? Oh, expected status code found an integer. Do I have to do like an into? Or from or something? We did this before. We've done this. And I just forgot how to do it. So it's not a status code. It's something. Yeah, let's go look it up and see if maybe we can find it in Axum's documentation. So it wouldn't be here. I want a response. Okay, so into response. You can use impl into response as the return type from handlers to avoid typing large types. For example, that. So that becomes just impl into response. And then I can just do the response code and that. Okay, so impl response is the recommended one. So impl, it's into response, right? Yeah, into response. Did I do that? No. Okay, into impl response. The trait bound integer axum response into response parts is not satisfied. Following other types implement. It's not like I pulled in something weird, right? They have status code, in response, JSON. Yeah, everything should be fine here. Now, is it you who are upset? Oh, it's you who are upset because I have to use like string? No. Normally like a string just works. Okay, let me try the JSON here. Because that should work, right? So we have okay, so you're just unhappy with this. What did I do differently the last few times that I've done this? I mean, it can't be because I'm not using this, right? So we have custom success. So that's also... Okay, so you're very upset. So pub async function, custom success. It's a function which returns impl into response. I do that entire thing. And you're just all unhappy. The entire body is unhappy with this. Well, actually, everything after defining what it is. Did I not pull in the correct into response? Remove unnecessary async. No, that async's necessary. Yeah, let me try removing that. And let's pull this back in. Okay, so there's no other types here. So import that, and then everything goes bad, right? Yeah. Yeah, so use axum into response. Does it have to be... No, it doesn't have to be a result, right? Yeah, this one has async function handler, input into response, do the thing, and then return. Oh, do you have to return an okay? Because that's really a result. No, it's not. Okay, hold on. What's going on with this? This is okay. Status code created now. Okay, so if I just follow that, so if instead of 299 we do status code created. Okay, you're happy. You're happy. I was able to use custom numbers at one point in time. What did I do? I thought I did it like this. Oh, no, I have to create a status code, don't I? I have to do like a status code from U16. Okay, so I just create my own. Then it can be like 299. That's what I have to do, maybe. Are you a result? You are a result. So I have to unwrap you. That's what it is. Okay, I completely forgot that we have to do something like that. So we can create a new status code from a U16, and then we unwrap that. Unwrapping it should be fine if we're hard coding it because it's, you know, a number between 100 and 999, and then that gives us this. Okay, so we have custom success now. Which means I can come back to Insomnia and we can do custom success. And that gives me 299 with the message I was created. Okay, so if we don't want to use one of the standard defined status codes like 201 created, then we can just make one up. As long as it can be turned into a number between 1 and 999, axum will allow it. We need to create the okay, we still need to use the status code struct. Okay, so we still need to use the status code struct. Is it struct or is it a module? I think still use the status code struct, but we can use the from U16 method to provide a number or stir to create the code. Note that this will error, that this returns an error, returns a result. in the case that our number isn't. I actually think it's it must be greater than or equal to 100 and less than 1000. Yeah, so okay. So note that this returns a result in the case that our number isn't between 100 and 999. We're unwrapping here since we can be confident that 299 will work. All right, so custom success, we do that. Ooh, okay, so pub async function custom success, we import into response. We let response data equals created data, message I was created, status code from U16 299 unwrap, JSON response data. Okay, perfect. And that gives us a custom success message, which is this. Both status codes. Let's add in here. Respond to a request with a custom status code. All right. This is a lot, but it's also like still fairly short because it's all within like one tight domain. And it lets us do all this stuff. So I think this is good for an MVP. Also, I really need to like add in the which one has this one? I want this thing. Nope. I did the wrong. Okay, first of all, you stay like that. I want just a normal Y, not a space Y. So I can do that. Okay, there we go. So you're happy, you're saved. Let's go ahead and git commit you. All right, so we wrote axum custom status codes. Okay, so I can push that up. Okay, you're happy. What's next? Then it's 8:16. Let's see if we can record this. We might be able to. So I can. Okay. So we have view that we created with this temporary thing, and we did this with a command. And everything seems to be working just fine with that. So I wonder if I can do that again. So let's create a new tab here. Only 3 more hours until the Apple event. I wasn't even paying attention. What's the let's see, it's September. Oh, so it's the fall Apple event. Yeah, Apple has events scheduled like what, 3 times a year? Like there's the winter Apple event, there's the fall Apple event, and then there's the WWDC summer Apple event. WWDC, they usually only do like operating system and other like fun developer updates, although they talked about like computer stuff this time. The iPhone event is usually fall, and computers are usually winter. But like they've been weird recently, and like just do whatever they feel like. So, yeah, I guess like they'll probably be like they release a new phone every year because they want you to pay more money every year. Although they now have that new VR headset, which I don't know. I work for a company that does VR. It'd be really awesome if my company was able to get one and I can play around with it. And theoretically, the phone might drive it. That's what I'm thinking. And that could be really interesting for developing type stuff. If it's actually if the screens are as good as they claim they are, it would be they could out meta what Meta was trying to do with the Quest Pros. They never changed the iPhone event, but sometimes do Mac hardware. But they already said the M3 isn't ready to go. I mean, they literally just released the M2, so not surprising. All right, so I have you. I want to do a new cargo temp. We're gonna grab you from that. So this creates a new file in here. We can open up VS Code. Sure, I trust you. You're happy, and so we have. Yeah, so this gives us all this stuff. Everything should be happy and good to go here. So we can then cargo watch. Let's run, get this going. Oh, I keep on forgetting. Well, I guess in this case, I can't bind to that because I am bound over here. Let's try that again. Okay, so we're running for you, and then we want to talk about status codes. All right, let's set. So I'm once. I want to pull up custom status codes. I want to sit here on objectives. I'm going to hold that over there so I can see it. We're going to move. Uh, 200. Okay, so MDN web docs. Okay, so I can talk about these. I can pull up this. You made the mistake of downsizing and got the normal iPhone 13 and the battery is starting to show its age. It needs to be charged twice a day to make it a full day. Xanax, hello, you missed this. We also have a reply from this session. What do you mean? I guess like what do you mean by a reply for the session? Oh, record. Yeah. I'm about to attempt to record this. So I'm going to have that set up there. We have VS Code set up. Yeah, so I'm setting up for recording now. I'm just making sure I don't have, yeah, you can be off to the side. You can be off to the side. And VS Code is the only thing up on here. So we're good to go. Drago, hello. Welcome, Raiders. Hello, NQ. Bon. But hello. How are you doing today? Also, Drago, how's your stream? What were you working on today? Raid indeed. Did you get hit by the ads? You may have missed it. But anyways, how was your stream? What was the topic today? Steam was fine. Good. Excellent. You've learned about try and accept. Nice. And then a little bit about testing. Oh, test. Oh, that's really good. Like, so that's like that's leveling up code a bit too. That's pretty awesome. We just wrote an article about status codes and responding with HTTP status codes in Axum with Rust. And I'm about to record a video meant for the course about that. So I am going to turn on the timer for this. So enable that. And is it recording? It is recording. Okay. So the big thing with this is that I'm not going to directly respond to chat while I'm recording. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn off. We're going to turn off ZilbyCam. And I'm going to turn off desktop audio so you can't hear that. You just passed the July ISTQB exam. I don't know if I know that exam. Like internet security? Something? Then the rest of the letters I'm not exactly sure about. And there's so many acronyms on the internet. My brain starts shutting down also if they're too long. But regardless, congratulations on passing it. If only the internet was an acronym. Yeah, that's very true. Also, Fiddleier. Hello, welcome. All right, we're gonna jump into a recording for this. We're recording all about status codes, HTTP status codes. Oh, Drago, I'm sorry about that. Was a link to this thing. Okay, let me take a look at what this is. It's the leading global certification scheme in the field of software testing. I haven't heard of this. I've always just done testing. I've never thought about getting a certification for it. So I guess they're big on QA stuff. So you said you got the Rust is giving you C# PTSD, but you've heard good things. Yeah, like if it's giving you PTSD, that's not great. Like Rust, like any coding should not be painful. So you got, I guess, ITSB. Oh, I was thinking, which level did you get? Okay, you have the foundation level. Is that not foundation level? Okay, so agile tester. Well, that's not. I mean, agile tester sounds good. So certified tester, agile tester, and then I guess you could start getting some of the other things in here too. Interesting. Well, are you gonna keep on going down the this level? Get yourself to like core up agile or core? The only problem I have with a lot of these certifications is how expensive they are. And I sometimes feel that they're really a scheme to just make money. And that sometimes bothers me. Like sometimes you really get good information from them. Uh, but sometimes it's like, I don't know. But I know a lot of companies actually look at the certifications pretty strongly when like choosing to like whether or not you're going to get a job with them. So in that case, it's really important. So like the big ones I think are really good, like Salesforce, AWS, Google, Microsoft. Yeah, okay. So you're gonna collect more money and then you'll be able to take the other tests. Nice. Sometimes you can get a job and then have your company pay you for the certificates. That's what I that's what I would do. If you can. Like if you have a job and you have a company that wants you to have these certificates, you can ask them to do that. And also, as a trick, if you don't have them and you're applying for a job, you could ask them to, as part of like, um, that you say like, okay, I have the skills for this. I will take the test and pass it and get the certificate as soon as you hire me, and then you pay for it. And you can try to negotiate it as part of your like hiring bonus, something like that. Twisted Seed, that's what you did. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. Like if at all possible, get somebody else to pay for it. It sometimes works. All right, let's see. We're gonna come back to ASP response codes here. I'm gonna bring up our list here. All right, we have 15 minutes. What do you think? I think we have time to do this. We're gonna start here. And yeah, I think we're good to go. So I'm going to begin with a recording session right now. I will not be able to respond to chat directly during this, but if you have any comments or questions, please go ahead and ask them. I'll either see if I can integrate it into the video or respond to it afterwards. So with that, let's begin. In this lesson, let's talk about HTTP status codes. These are the codes that respond with any request that we do. So to begin off, let's just go ahead and create a really quick just hello world request in this basic application that we've already got set up. So I'm going to create a new file in router here. We're going to call this just status codes. I'm going to mod this. And in I'm going to do a pub async function. Let's do like our hello world. So if I do a hello world, we open you up, even if I return something, even if I don't return anything at all, even if I just do something very basic and simple like this, we come to our route. I'm going to do a route. We do, I want that to be let's do hello. And I want a get request. Import get from axum routing. And I want this to be status codes. Can you not find that? This is pub async function hello world. You're saved. There you are. Hello world. Hello world. Okay. Um, Let's see. What are you upset about? No create router and routes. What did I? Oh, I forgot to use. That would do it. Okay, now you're happy. All right, so server's running. Let's make this a little bit smaller so we can see it. Oh, not that small. And let's open up Thunder Client. We don't need the release notes. Thunder Client, we'll do a new request. Put this over to the right. Maybe. Okay, how about I put you over to the left? There we go. I want to do a GET request to HTTP. Localhost, we'll just reappropriate this one to hello. When I run this, oh right, I did the same thing where my VS Code was larger than the screen. All right, here we go. Now I can send you. That's why I wasn't wrapping before. It was wrapping. It was just larger than the screen. We get this 200 status code OK back. So Axum by default will tell us, like, we'll actually set the status code based upon what it thinks is appropriate. So everything worked out fine. The handler returned OK, 200 OK. If, for example, that like a CERT deserialization failed with JSON data incoming or query parameters or something like that, it'll be a 400. And if it crashes, that'll be a 500. To sort of predict which one it's going to be, we can go to the MDN, so the Mozilla documentation for status codes. I like to use the MDN docs because, well, I feel that they're really good. They have good information. They've been around forever. And Mozilla is sort of like, it kind of has taken on the sort of like steward of a lot of these type of documentation. So these are all standards. They're actually defined in an RFC, which is some like, an actual defined standard of the internet that's enshrined as like what things must be. And these are the status codes. So we have basically anything between 100 and 199. So in the 1.xx is just information. We rarely see these, and you probably don't need to worry about them. Anything between 200 and 299, so 2xx, is success. That means something went right. And then, of course, 3, redirection. So we actually don't see this very often in our browsers, but if like maybe you like moved your entire website to another domain, you might keep the old domain up and do a 3xx redirect. So that way all your browsers know, oh yeah, go over there now. There's ways to tell the browser, just permanently do it. Don't worry about it. Just, it's forever. 4xx, these are client errors. These are something that the browser or whoever is hitting your API that made a mistake. So in the case that we're accepting JSON data and we want to deserialize that into a struct, if that JSON data is malformed or doesn't have the right information, that's the client's fault. So therefore it's a 400 error. And then finally, the 500s. This is where, we crashed when attempting to connect to the database, or something else went wrong and it's our fault. The API somehow failed to do what it's supposed to do. That's a 5xx error. So we notice that we get, by default, the 200 error if everything's fine. Now, I can force a 500 error. If I come back to our code, we can just write a panic. We can just say, oh no, we failed. So if I save that, it auto restarts a server and we hit this. This panics. Okay. Well, that's okay, fine, didn't work. I was really expecting this to work. I trusted the John Who thing with Axum that it was going to work. I hadn't tested it, which is probably a problem. So supposedly a panic is supposed to then return with an error code and not actually just crash the server. but it crashed the server and didn't return with the 500. So instead, that won't work. So I won't be able to force that. So, okay. Which also means I won't be able to finish recording today. We'll have to finish recording that tomorrow morning. But yeah, okay, that's good to know. Can't force it with a panic. That just crashes. Oh, you get an error. Which is the fun. Actually, it doesn't crash the server, does it? Like the server's still running. Like if I run this, it's still hitting it. So the server is still running. But it doesn't return a 500, which is what I was really hoping that it would do. It just crashes here and doesn't do anything. So that's not fun. So I know, interesting. I was expecting to get a 500 back. Good to know for next time. Let's write this down as a node. So we have you. I want that. So set our description. Okay, so we have custom status codes. We need to. So first of all, we wrote article, and next up is record video. Am I using normal Markdown for note taking? Generally speaking, I try to, when possible. I really like Markdown for the simplicity, but I can also get different sort of like colored breakpoints between these. And in Helix, I could then set it up and actually see the different sort of sections. So if I want to jump between them, I can just look at the symbols. So it's like, okay, let's go to this one, and we can see that. So super, super nice for sort of like reading through these type of notes too. So I do like just normal Markdown. This is also going to be like, you can get the exact same thing on VS Code and the exact same thing on, what is it called? VS Code and, oh, so we moved. You're over here. Hi. The exact same thing in like NeoVim, Vim, VS Code, Notion. It's just like it's all the same Markdown behind the scenes. Obsidian. All right. Are we gonna see a giant cat face? I moved the camera so Zoe's facing it again. Sort of. Hi, Zoe. Kind of. You started looking at Obsidian and you like the page linking. Yeah, I looked at Obsidian before, and the page linking is pretty nice. What's really nice, and we discovered recently, is that in Helix here, we can get page linking too. Although I can't like go back and forth between it. So if I do something like that, I can just say like, hey, there. Now I don't think I can actually go to the page using this. Oh, I can go to the page. Oh, okay. So if I this is like wiki format of page linking, and then I can also do the normal format where I just do like label and then just like, okay, let's go to query path params. And then if I go over this and I go to definition, it takes me to that file. So I can get that exact same thing in Helix here. I have the Marksman installed, which is the default code editor thing. Oh, Zilby, you're trying to. I ran the cable across his bed, and he's a little bit upset at it. I know, and you can select the header inside of the file to link to too. It's really nice. There's so many things that you can do with it. So anyways, this is like that's something. Markdown I think is one of the best things to sort of learn if you want to like do any kind of non just plain text note taking. And it's not that hard to learn. It's basically just HTML without having to learn tags themselves. Like this is just an H3 tag. That's all that it really is. I think tables are the hardest thing in HTML in Markdown to learn. Okay, I'm sorry, Zilby. Here, let me put it underneath this. Now it's hidden. Now it's not going to bother you anymore. All right, so let me. I'm going to leave the timer on, and then, well, actually, no, I should probably turn it off because it will go off. It will continue going while I'm not streaming, will it? So I'll disable you. Let's, okay, I got rid of that link that I just created. That would have been awkward. Okay, we'll quit out of you. Everything's good here. Okay, we're good there. Okay, yeah, so we're all up to date with you. Everything's fine. Everything's happy. Which means then that's our plan for tomorrow. Record the video. And let's see. Talking about tomorrow, I expect to start streaming around 6 a.m. Mountain Time, and it should be around until this time. So we should have plenty of time for me to record, even if I sort of fumble a few times in the morning, because, you know, first thing in the morning, that's always fun. So we'll do that, and then we'll probably start moving on to the next thing to work on. So with that, have a great rest of the day, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye.